Hello, I'm Nia.
And I'm Rosa, and this is Lilia.
And we are MuMo Creative, and we do workshops using music and movement and science and story and fun to explore lots of different themes and stories and works of literature and art.
And we created some videos for you so that you can do these sessions at home for free during these times when we're all isolated and locked in our homes, just to do some fun with your family and friends at home. So check out the space, we'll send you more soon.
Welcome to our first MuMo lockdown workshop, which you can do at home, either on your own or with someone else in the household. You just need a little bit of space to move around in and some comfy clothes, and we will show you what to do. Okay, you can pause us or rewind us and go back over anything you like at any time. So today we're going to be looking at Shakespeare's famous story of two people who fell in love but couldn't be together, Romeo and Juliet. And this is part one of a two-part workshop. There'll be two videos. And at the end of this one, we'll be giving you some creative tasks, some fun things to do, ready for part two. So first of all, let's start with an exercise that's about two families who hate each other. The Montagues, which is Romeo's family, and Juliet's family, the Capulets. So Rosa and Lilia are going to be ready to show you the movement in their house. I'll be ready at the piano in my house. If you're ready in your house, let's get started. Okay, so here we are in Mantua in the 1300s. Now, one of you is going to be a Montague and one of you is going to be a Capulet. So quickly decide who is going to be the Capulet. Okay, and who is going to be the Montague?
I'm going to be the Montague. Okay.
Excellent. So here you are, and you are with your gang, and the two gangs are strutting around town looking for trouble. And then they spot each other. And we're going to do some threatening noises to each other with a snapshot pose for each one as you threaten the other gang. So here's your first noise, and it's
So what pose could we, Lilia, do for that? Do that.
Excellent. And now you're going to get a little bit more threatening and a bit louder, and you're going to say, oh.
Oh. Oh, let's do this. Oh.
Excellent. And now even more menacing, and get the volume up a little bit and say, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Amazing snapshot, I love it. Okay, and now you're getting a little bit near each other and you're saying, uh-huh. And now even more menacing, you what?
You what?
And finally, bring it on.
Bring it on. Ha!
Fantastic, with a ha at the end. Okay, so should we just go through all those sounds, one after the other, with your pose to each one? Okay, here's the first one.
Oh. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, sorry.
Uh-huh. You
what? Bring it on. Ha!
Excellent. Okay, so now you're really looking for trouble. And you're going to do the most rude and insulting thing that you could do in Italy in the 1300s, and that is to bite your thumb at your enemy. So let's just see you do that. Amazing. And if you're a Capulet, you're going to say, do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
Yeah, and the Montague says, I do bite my thumb, sir.
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Amazing. Brilliant. So, shall we do all that through, but with music?
Brilliant. Are we ready?
So, eyeing each other up and looking for trouble. Here we go.
Great. So we're going to add into this, once we've done all this, we're going to do a little bit of sort of walk around each other. So it's a bit of a West Side Story style. So we're going to go ball of the foot, heel, ball of the foot, heel. And if you can do clicks. And we're going to walk around, just check each other out. And in the end, Lydia's created these poses here. We're going to go across ha, 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 ha. Good. Fantastic. Should we do the whole thing with the music, with our calls? Let's do you ready, Lydia?
So our first menacing sound. Oh. Oh yeah? Uh-huh. You what? Bring it on! Ha! Do you bite your thumb at me, sir? I do bite my thumb, sir. When the story of Romeo and Juliet begins, Romeo has never met Juliet. He hasn't met her yet. And he's in love with somebody else entirely called Rosaline. But Rosaline doesn't want to know. She's not interested in Romeo. And he's very fed up. So to cheer him up, his friends suggest they should all go to a party. Well, the only party in town and the biggest party in town is being thrown by the Capulets, the enemy family. So Romeo and his friends are definitely not invited, but they decide to go anyway. They're going to put some masks on, disguise themselves, and gate crash the party. And that's where we're going in the next exercise, to the Capulets' party. So we've arrived at the grand party that the Capulets are throwing. And it's such a huge grand party that every guest is announced at the door and then has to make a big entrance and walk through the hall, greeting everyone, and then have a laugh with everyone. So I'm going to announce each guest, and I want you to be that guest and to think of how that guest would stand and walk and say hello and laugh. Okay, so the first guest coming through the door is Lord High Title.
Okay, Lord High Title. So how can Lilia Lord High Title walk? That's a good one. Okay, and then Lilia, can you come up with a way Lord High Title could greet people? Oh, I like that one. How about, how's he gonna laugh?
That's brilliant. That's exactly how Lord High Title does walk and laugh by coincidence. So let's do Lord High Title's special music now as he comes into the party. Here we go. That's brilliant. Okay, now then, closely following after Lord Hightitle is a nosy little man called Mr. Busybody.
Okay, so Lilia, how's Mr. Busybody gonna walk? Oh, he's gonna try and clean things and be a bit telling people off. That's good. So how's his greeting? Oh, I like that one. And how's he gonna laugh? That. Or do we do that? Okay, let's do. We're gonna change our version. Do.
That's so good. Okay, so here comes Mr. Busybody's special music. Here we go. Perfect. Right, so hot on the heels of Mr. Busybody comes our next guest, and this is Lady Amelia Flutterfinkle.
How do you think she's going to walk, Lilia? She's going to walk like this. And how's she going to do her greeting? Oh, she wants her, I'm going to come this way, she wants her hand to be kissed. And how's she going to laugh? That's good. Well done, Lilia.
I love that. So here comes the music for Lady Amelia. And... And finally, and who knows whether this might be Romeo in disguise, but the last guest to arrive is Prince Cool of Strutsville.
Prince Cool? How's Prince Cool gonna walk, Lydia? Hands in pockets. Ah, that's good. So how do you think he's gonna greet people, Lilia? What do you think? Oh, I like that. Should we do the other way? And then the laugh. Okay, good.
Here comes Prince Cool of Strutsville. We're using in the workshop today is inspired by Romeo and Juliet. All the composers took their inspiration from Shakespeare's play. So your first exercise, when you were Montagues and Capulets facing off on the street, that's from West Side Story by Leonard Bernstein. And that's a fantastic musical based on the story of Romeo and Juliet. The party music was taken from a ballet by a composer called Prokofiev, and that's also about Romeo and Juliet. And now we're going back to West Side Story, and we're going to have the cha-cha dance. And this is now Romeo meeting Juliet for the very first time. He dances with her at the Capulets' party, and she doesn't know who he is. She doesn't know that she's dancing with one of the enemy family. She just thinks he's wonderful. So Rosa and Lilia are now going to teach you Romeo and Juliet's first dance.
So this is our first dance for Romeo and Juliet, and we're going to do a bit of cha-cha-cha. So we're going to learn the steps. So we're going to take our right leg and we're going to go forward. 1, 2, 3 together. Then we're going to take the left and let's do the same forward first. 1, 2, 3. So just change. 1, 2, 3. And the other one. 1, 2, 3. So you can do that, or here is your trick challenge. We're gonna go right one forward, 1, 2, 3, left to the back, 1, 2, 3, right to the front, 1, 2, 3, and back, 1, 2, 3. And then here's a bit more challenge. We're gonna do that together. So if I'm gonna be Romeo, you're gonna be Juliet, Lilia, good. So if I'm gonna step my right foot forward, Lilia's gonna step her left foot back. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. And then she's gonna step her right foot forward and I'm gonna do my left back. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Good, 1, 2, 3. So we do a few of this and back. We're gonna take our leg that's towards your front. So my right, your left. We're gonna take a tap. Let's hold hands here. I'm gonna tap the other foot. Tap. Good. I'm gonna open the arms to a big reach away from each other. And coming back. I'm gonna do a little wriggle. Wriggle, 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 wriggle. Coming back. And then this is Lilia's move. So what should we do? Ooh, we're gonna go all the way around. And then we're gonna finish with a nice big opening. Good. So you're gonna try that with the music. So don't worry about the steps. We're just gonna dance together. Here we go.
Juliet realises that Romeo is a Montague, she's absolutely horrified. And she says one of the most famous lines in Shakespeare's play, which you might want to say after me. She says, "My only love sprung from my only hate." So she's really disappointed to have fallen in love with someone from the enemy family. And she goes home after the party, but Romeo definitely wants to see Juliet again. So in the middle of the night, he goes to her house and he sees a light at her window. And he says this, and you might want to say this after me again. "But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun." Romeo thinks that Juliet is as wonderful and glorious as the sunshine. So he calls her and she comes out onto the balcony and they confess their love for one another. But Juliet is still absolutely gutted that he's from the wrong family. And she says, maybe one of Shakespeare's most famous lines ever. She says, "Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?" Your turn. And wherefore doesn't mean where, it means why. Juliet is asking, why do you have to be Romeo? Why do you have to be from the Montague family? So Rosa now is going to talk to you about ballet mimes. And together, you're going to create your own ballet mime using those lines from Shakespeare's play.
So we're going to do a bit of ballet mime. And the thing with ballet mime is, Lilia's doing some of her own mime here, is that it has to be really big. If you think about the dancers on a big stage and all the way to the back row or the top balcony, people have to see what they're trying to say. So you can't do very small sign language, you've got to do big. like marriage would be showing your ring, or beautiful is this one. So we're gonna just make our own moves to these famous lines, Shakespeare line from Romeo and Juliet. So Mia's gonna say the line and then we're gonna think about the mime.
Okay, so the first of the lines, and these are the lines we did in the introduction, and this is Juliet, who is realising who Romeo is, and she says, "My only love sprung from my only hate."
My only love, what could we do? My only love. But we may have to do that heart big, because people have to see. So that's a big, my only love. What could be sprung, Lydia? Sprung. And then we do the from my only hate. I like that one. Good.
Okay, and now we have Romeo looking at the balcony and looking at the light in Juliet's window, and he says, "But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun."
Okay, Lydia. So, but soft, what will you do for but? We'll do but and soft. Soft. What? But soft? Was it what light?
That's right.
What and then light. Let's do light. Through. I like this one. Through. And then we had the yonder window. We'll do a big window. Breaks. That is great, Lilia. Oh, you going ahead. Oh yeah, that's the east first. We wanted to do some dabbing for east. Lilia, how does one do that? Oh, that's it. East. And then Juliet, we're going to do like a nice figure here for Juliet. Is the sunshine, or is the sun, right?
That's wonderful. And now for the most famous line of all, which is, "Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?"
We do, oh, Romeo, oh, Romeo, oh, Romeo, wherefore art thy Romeo? I think we should do that once through before we make that into a dance. So we do that together from the beginning. Do we remember that, Lydia? Good. So we start. What do we start with? My only love sprung from my only hate. And then, but softly, what light through yonder window break. Great. It's the east. And Juliet is the sun. And we go, oh, Romeo, oh, Romeo, wherefore art thy Romeo? Good. So now we're going to make this into a dance, so we don't even have to say the lines, but you can to yourself if that makes it easier to remember, to some lovely music here.
Action fast.
Juliet has a nurse who has looked after her since she was a baby, and they love each other very, very much. The nurse is quite a comic figure. She's always chattering on and remembering what Juliet was like when she was little. But she just wants Juliet to be happy. So she's willing to trudge around town taking messages between Juliet and Romeo, even though her feet hurt and she's always tired, plodding around running errands. Now, Juliet has been told by her father that she has to marry a man called Paris. She really doesn't want to. So Juliet's in a bit of a strop about this, and her father is starting to lose his patience with her. So all in all, there's quite a lot of stomping going on, and that stomping is what we're going to do for our next exercise.
So the poor old nurse with her sore feet running errands around town, she's having a stomp. And so let's have a think about how the nurse would stomp.
Oh, I like this one. Maybe wiping some sweat. Good.
Okay, so should we do the nurse's stomp to her music now?
Okay, let's listen to
The
this.
nurse's weary stomp. Off we go.
Very good. And now Juliet is having a bit of a tantrum because she doesn't want to marry Paris. So what kind of stomping is Juliet doing? Yes, bit of a tantrumy stomp. So let's do that stomp to Juliet's music. Are we ready? And stomp away. I like the jumping up and down. Excellent stomping. And now Juliet's father is getting a little bit cross with her, and he is in authority. Now he's the boss, so he's going to do some boss stomping. So what's he going to do?
How would that be, Lilia? The father who's crossed. But I think, can we just listen to that? But I think he's probably walking quite slowly because he has the authority, so he doesn't have to walk so fast. Let's try that one, Lilia.
Okay, let's try that slow walking, that slow stomping to his slow music. Here we go. And...
Okay, so that was all of the Romeo and Juliet movements of this first part of our little workshop. So we're going to just do a bit of a cool down. So just following Lilia and me, and we'll follow the music. Just sit on the knees and face between your legs. goodbye from us. See you soon for part 2. Romeo and Juliet coming back. Bye bye, Nia. Thank you. So thank you for joining us today, and we'll hope to see you soon again in our next workshop video. So goodbye from Rosa and Lilia.
And goodbye from Nia.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that's the end of part 1 of our 2 Romeo and Juliet workshops. We hope to see you for part 2, but before then, here are some things you might like to do. You could draw one scene or one character from the workshop we've done today. It might be the fight or the party, it might be the nurse or Juliet or Romeo, anyone you like. Just draw what you think that would look like. If you were writing Romeo and Juliet, how do you think the story should go from now? Jot down an outline of the plot if you were writing it. Romeo and Juliet was set in the 1300s in Italy. See if you can find out what sort of fashions people wore then. And if you've got a grown-up's permission, you might want to see what you've got in the house that you could wear to make up your own version of that fashion. Or why don't you just imagine a new style for Romeo and Juliet, design a new fashion for them and draw that. We would love to see your work, and we will give you details on how to send it to us at the end of this video. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.